Yeah, is my screen visible?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Okay, so it will start up. So what we are going to do today is that we will do installation of an additional application server. Okay, so just to give you an understanding, last okay, so yeah, Yeah, can you see the screen?
Yes.
Okay, so last time what we did at the time of installation, we installed this. We installed the host A. Okay, we installed the host A last time. So this was the installation. If you see in our screen, if you see the instances that we have, so we have this one. If you see the instance over here, this is your central services, the central services instance, the ASCS instance. Why? Because it contains your message server and your NQ server. Okay, so this is your message server. Yes, please mute. Yes. Okay, so if you see over here, this is your central server instance, this over here, which contains your message server and your NQ server. So this is one instance. And the second, if you see the below one, this is your primary application server instance, which contains your dispatcher, gateway, and ICM. Okay, this is the below one is my this primary application server, and the above one, this is my ASCS. So last time what we did, we installed a primary application server. We installed what is over here, the host A. Last time what we did, we installed the host A, which contains your primary application server instance and your central services instance. Okay, now what we are going to do today is that we will be installing an additional application server. This one, the host B. We will be installing an host B. So last time we installed, what we installed was an primary application server. Now we'll be installing an additional application server. Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay.
Hello.
Yes, yes, Guy.
Okay. I have a question.
Yes.
RSB means that we will do replication. It is just
No. See, no need for
okay.
replication. There is no need for replication.
Okay.
Okay. See, you have a host A server. We will install an additional server, host B. Both of these servers will be communicating with your DB. This server as well as this server. There is no 2 DB. If you have a if you have 2 instances of DB, then you need replication between them.
Okay.
Both will be communicating with your same database. So in our situation, we have, this is a DB. If you see, this is a DB server 10.4.1.4. This is a database server. So we will be connecting to this database. So there is no need for replication.
Okay.
Okay. So we have installed the primary application server. Now we will be installing the additional application server. Yes. So before that, we will need to create the instance where we'll be installing the additional application server. So let me open my lab setup for Basis. Okay, in the system, if you see over here, this was the HANA DB on which we installed the HANA database, the VM. This second VM is for the primary application server, and this VM is for the additional application server. Okay, so this is the configuration for the VM over here, DS2 V3 and 28. Let me check if I can have something 24. Okay, so here is a configuration over here. We will not be adding this to it. Okay, there will be, no, I think we need disk also in this. Let me check how much disk we need for the additional application server. Okay, so no, we don't need any disk over here. Can you see? No disk is required for your additional application. No additional disk is required. Only the 30 GB disk, which is for your root partition / partition. Apart from that, you don't need any other disk. Okay, so now let us move ahead and create the system for it. So this is the create virtual machine additional application server. Here is how you can create an additional application server. So let me create it. Compute virtual machines. You come over here, create a Azure virtual machine. Okay, then resource group. So it will be B04. My resource group will be B04. Virtual machine name. The name of my virtual machine will be S4H. This is the name of my virtual machine. Okay, region will be default, and the image will be for SUSE. So here it is, the last one, SUSE Enterprise Linux for SAP 15 SP3 BYOS generation 2. This is the image for my VM. Okay, and what size do I need? What is the size for it? The size here it is given as DH2V3, 2 processor and 8 GB memory. Okay, let me check with something. E216. Let me check for C all sizes. Okay, memory. Let me check for here. You have for 4 GB memory. Something for 4 GB memory. 2 USB3. 4 GB memory. Okay, search by display group by series. No grouping. Memory. I will sort by memory. Let me see what option we have for. So 4 GB memory. I think only have B2S. This is for the 4 GB memory. B2S, DC1, B3. Let us try with this one, B2S, 4 GB memory. Okay, let me go with 4 GB memory. So here, I think we already have it with B2S, 2 CPUs and 4 GB memory. Let me go with this. Okay, so here's the memory, second password, and this is the username. Password, username, and this is my password. Licensing, would you like it? Tick. Standard SSD. Okay, now let me go and confirm that. Next disk. So by default, the disk type is premium SSD. I will be demoting it to standard SSD. Apart from them, this is for the additional disk, which we don't require for our additional application server. No additional disk is required. Next, networking. Okay, networking. What is a virtual network? B04. Okay, this is a VNet. No need for changing it. Subnet. So I'm putting it in the application subnet. It is already in the application subnet. No changes. Public IP. We don't need a public IP. So just make it none. Okay, just make it none. Management.
Okay, I have a question here.
Yes.
Okay, what will happen if we assign an AP address?
Which address?
AP public address. Okay, public
See,
address.
public IP is not required. See, if you assign a public IP, you will be getting additional billing. Though that billing is not so high, maybe monthly, somewhat you can say. I think not more than like $10 something. So there will be an additional billing for that if you assign a public IP.
Okay.
Okay, and this VM, you will not be directly accessing this VM from the internet. We will jump on our Bayesian host, and from the Bayesian host we'll be accessing this VM. So
Okay,
a public IP is not required actually here.
Okay.
Next, management. Then auto shutdown, enable auto shutdown. Here the day, select your time zone, this Mumbai 10, and the time is for 7 PM. Okay, let me go with it. Notification before shutdown, none. Okay, and now I will be clicking on review plus create. Okay, so here is the validation has passed. Okay, it is showing you it will be this is the charges for my VM 2.99 rupee per hour. Okay, this is the details. You can just I can now click on create. Okay, by the time it is getting created, let us cross check our sheet. Okay, this is a sheet for installation. The first sheet is the information sheet. This is the information about the VM. So what VM we are using over here? We are using B2S. Okay, we are using B2S over here, which is for 2V CPUs and 4 GB memory. Okay, the swap size SAP recommended. Okay, SAP recommended is 10 GB. Let us go with 10 GB itself, or we can do one thing. Let us go with 8 GB. Let's see for 8 GB. So 8 GB. This is operating this for 30 GB. Okay, product available matrix. This is the operating system, SWPM, SAP kernel, host agent, database client that will be needing for the installation. These are all the packages that are required. Okay, now this is the information sheet for our this is the domain name. We are not making any changes in the domain, the root user, the master password. This is for your existing system HDB day one. So what is the IP address of HDB day one? It is 10.4.1.4 10414. So here it will be 10414. Okay, 10414, and the primary application server IP for primary application 10424. Okay, 10424. This is for S4H1. This is for this The rest everything is same, no changes there. Okay, this is for our additional application server. Can you see? This information is for additional application server. This is the host name and the IP address will be giving us 10425. This is the IP address 10425. Okay, the SID will be the same. There will be no change in the SID. It will be the same as your primary application server. See, your additional application server is just an extension to your primary application server. Okay, so your SID, there will be no change in the SID, but the instance number will be different. Okay, it's up to you. You can give an instance number 00 also. You can give, but just to avoid confusion, I am giving the instance number in series. Primary application server 00, and this is for your ASCS instance 01, and this is for your additional application server 02. So this is not SCS, but this is ASCS. This is your ASCS instance will be 01. No, there is a little bit change over here. Okay. Okay, your ASCS instance is 00. 00 is my ASCS instance. If I want to confirm it, you can check it from control minus. Okay, check. Check system instance list. Check host agent, check update status. Check system certificates. Okay, let me check here itself. System instance list. Okay. Okay, so here you can see my as far as day one, it is this is 0, the message server and the NQ server. So this is my ASCS instance, which is 0, and this is my primary application server, which is 1. So 0 and 1. So this is my 0, ASCS instance is 0, primary application server is 1, and my additional application server instance will be 02. Okay, these are the users. I think that is it. DB and you, I don't think there needs to be any additional server because we are just okay. So my additional application server VM has been created and it is running. Now we can connect to this VM. So let me connect to this VM from here. I will add server. Okay, this should be the notice. The IP of this will be 10.4.2.5. 10.4.2.5. Yes, 10.4.2.5. Display name, let me keep it as S4D. Username, password. So this is my second instance for my additional application server. Okay, are we clear till now? Any doubts or queries till now? Yes, have you understand what we have done till now? Yes, Guy.
No query for me.
No, can you just explain me in simple words what we are doing and what we have done till now?
You say? Hello?
Yes, I'm here.
I don't catch you.
No, I just want to understand like what is our objective, what we have done till now, what are we doing?
Nothing.
No, see, we have created one instance, we have created one VM. Okay, for additional application server, we are going to install an additional application server. For that, we have created a VM till now, and now we'll do the OS setup for the VM, and after that, we'll do the installation for our additional application server. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so now here it is, the VM is ready, the VM is up and working, and what I've done, I've added that VM in my here on my Bayesian host under the empty putty, and I can access the VM now. You can see I have access to this VM. So this is the VM B04 basis 1 S4H dev 2. This is my additional application server VM. Now I have to perform all the basic OS setup activities here before we can proceed. Yeah, is that clear? So I have already logged in with the user sysadmin user. Now, okay, check the CPUs and cores. You can run the top command to check the CPUs and cores. After this, just run one. So there are 2 cores in my VM, 2 cores. This is a 2-core VM. CPU 0 and CPU 1. Okay, then the memory. How much memory you have in this system? So we have total 4 GB memory. There is no swap has been created till now. So till now we have a 4 GB memory. Okay, then ls block, how many disks we have? So here is this. So this is a root partition. This is a 30 GB disk for the root partition slash. So in this SDA, we have a slash partition of 28.5 GB. These are other system partitions. Okay, then we have an SDB. We have one SDB for 8 GB. This is your temporary disk. Okay, so now DF minus, if you want to see the mount point, DF minus H and capital T. So these are the mount points. So how many mount points we have? So these are all the file systems which have been created in the system: SDB1, SDA2, SDA3, SDA4, and these are the mount directories on which they have been mounted. And these are their respective file systems. Okay, OS release. What is the OS? What is the version of my system? So SLES 15 SP3 and 15.3, 15 and SP3. Okay, this is the name: SUSE Linux Enterprise Server 15 SP3, SLES 15 SP3. And if you want, you can check from here. This is for the SAP. This version is for SAP. Okay, how many RPMs I have installed for SAP? So here I can check how many RPM there are installed for the SAP related RPM. Host name, what is the host name of my VM? So this is the host name of my VM. IP address, IP route. So here I can see the IP address of my VM from the IP ADDR command, or you can also run only IPA. Then IP route. Here we have route. You can see all the routing information about your VM. Okay, so this is all done. Okay. Now operating system setup. Let me quickly configure the OS. Login with the root. Set up the root password. Okay, change the name or change the host name. Okay, the cat etc host name for div 2. Okay, as a host name true. Log out. Let me change. Set the password for my system. The root user, root password command line. Okay. Okay, here I've logged in with the root user. Okay, add entry in the host file. So I'll be adding all the entries for my host file. Okay, adding the entry for my database. I'm adding the entry for my primary application server S4H Dev 1, and this is my local system S4H Dev 2. So all these three entries I have to make in my local etc host file. So what are the current entries? So there is no entry right now. So I'll be adding all these three entries into my system. Okay, now if I check the bill, so here you can see all the three entries have been added in my etc host file. Let me ping each and everything, pings. So I can ping my database. This is my database host. This is my primary application server host. And this is my additional application server host. So all the three are pinging. Yes. Okay. So now, so on my VM, I have made all the entries for the in the etc host. Let me make the entry in my Bayesian host. So this is my Bayesian host. I'm opening a command prompt on my Bayesian host. Okay, so the current entry, see, I've already have an entry for my 10414. This is for my database host, and this is for my application server host. So the additional application server is not yet entered over here. So let me pass an entry for that. Here it is. Okay, I made an entry. Let me check the content now. So here, can you see? Now I have an entry for my additional application server instance also. Now let me try to ping whether I can ping it or not. Okay, so I'm able to ping my additional application server. Okay. So this part has been done. Add entry in the host file. Configure DNS. This is for configuring the DNS. Okay, so here you can see the domain suffix has been added in the etc resolve.conf. Okay, time date CTL time zone for my VM. So right now it is for UTC. Let me set it. Okay, now I have set it for my geographical location. Okay, this is for the tune system for S4HANA. So we will be tuning this system for our application server, for the solution application server. Before that, we'll have to start the SAP Tune service. So here I'm starting the SAP Tune, enabling it, and status. So here you can see it has been enabled. SAP solution list. So these are all the solutions which are available. So out of this solution, we'll be applying this solution, S4HANA app server. Okay, now if I check the solution list, so here you can see this solution has been applied to my VM. This is also done. Now the last part is for configuring your swap. Now we will be configuring swap. We'll be creating a swap of 8 GB. So let me done this. I'm creating a file of 8 GB, and I'll be configuring swap on that file. 7.8 GB. Let me deliver it to you. No suffer. Let me try with this. Okay, the reason I have added this date command before and after is that because I want to time this command, how much time it takes to create a swap file. So this is the starting time, and when it will finish, it will again execute the date command, and I will get the end time. And based on that, I can calculate how much time it took for creating this 8 GB of swap file. Okay, it's completed. I think it almost took the same time. Last time it took around 138 seconds for 7.8 GB. Here it is around for 7.7 GB, 128. Now it took on 143 second something for this 8 GB file. So I think the time is almost same. Okay, the speed, if you check the speed also, the speed is also same. So there was no issue about the block size, changing the block size. This is the block size. Block size of 1 GB, 1024 MB means 1 GB. Count is equal to 8. So it's almost the same, no issues with it. So okay, let me change the permission of this swap file. We have to make it 600. Okay, this is the permission of the swap file. You see, this is the permission. If you don't set the permission like this, it will give an error. Okay, now I'm creating a swap file system on this swap file. Okay, here again setting up swap as version. This is done. Now echo slash swap file. Here it is. Now you can see I pass an entry in the etcfs file. Let us check over here. So here is the entry for in the etcfs file. Okay, here is the entry in the etcfs file. Okay. Now swap on, I'm enabling the swap on here. Okay, it has been enabled. Now if I check the swap, swap on minus v, so here it says that we have a file slash swap file, which is a file of 8 GB. And free minus m, now I can see a swap of 8 GB in my system. Yes, is it clear till now?
Yes, yes.
So we have configured the operator, we have configured the OS. So OS is ready. Now we will start with the installation of our additional application server. Okay, so now there is something little different over here. What different is over here? Now we have to configure NFS. We have to configure NFS share on our primary application server. What is an NFS? Network file system. So what we are going to do is that in our primary application server, which is our primary application server? This is a primary application server. Okay. So if I see on this system, this is my primary application server. This is my ASTS instance and this is my PaaS instance. So on my primary application server, what I need to do, I have to configure, I have to share one. Let me come on here. On my primary application server, if I check IPA, so this is, if you check 10.4.2.4, this is my primary application server. And if you see the host name, S4H dev1. So here what I need to do, I need to share, oh sorry, first before sharing, I need to start NFS, and then I need to share all these file systems. Sorry, not file system, directories, slash pkgs, slash sapmnt, sid, slash usr, sap trans. Okay, the SID here is different. This is H4D. This is also S4D. Here it will be the same. Okay, so here is it. So we have to, you have to share these directives, and these share directives will be mounted on the secondary server. These directives will be mounted on your additional application server. Yes, everybody clear on this part?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so if I check my, this is my system. If I check my NFS server, so if you check your NFS server, you see over here, you can see this this dot over here. It is not green. Okay, it means the NFS server is not started. NFS server is not running currently. Okay, NFS server is not running. Second, if you see this disabled over here, this disabled means this service is disabled. Disabled means when you reboot this system, this service will not be started at boot time. Even if you start this service now, see, this command is for starting the server. I'm starting this server. If I start this service, see, NFS systemctl start NFS server. Now if I check the status, if I again check the status, see, now you can see that this service is active. I can see it green, and I can see the active status that this service is running. But still, if you see over here, it has been disabled. Disabled means if I reboot this VM now, on the next startup, this service will not be started. So to enable this, you have to enable this service, NFS server, systemctl enable NFS server. So by this command, I will be enabling it so that next time when the system is rebooted, this service should start along with the other services. So now if you see the status, okay, can you see the change over here? Now it has been enabled. Previously it was disabled. Okay, so here it is. I've started the service. I've started the NFS service. After starting the NFS service, now I have to share. I have to share my this all directories from primary application server or from S4H dev1 to dev2. Actually, this has to be this one. Configure NFS shares on primary application server. Configure NFS service. This should be service. Okay, configure NFS service. Okay, so this will be configure NFS service and configure NFS shares on primary application server. NFS service. So this is the file over here. If you see, this is the file etc exports. Whatever directories you need to share, you have to make an entry in the etc export. If you see, there are no entries currently. The etc export file is empty. There are no shares mentioned over here. So these are, we are going to give these shares over here. So here I'm running this command. Now can you see, I have added these 3 shares on my primary application server. It means these 3 directories will be shared from your primary application server so that you can mount it on your secondary application server. You can mount these 3 directories. These 3 directories will be accessible on your secondary, additional application server. These are the permissions. What to how many, to which system do you want to make it accessible? To all the systems in the network. What are the permissions? These are the permission. RW is for read write. Sync is for synchronize. No root squash. Don't squash the permissions of the root user. No subtree check. This is no subtree. So these are the default permissions for your this system, this export over here. Okay, this is a permission. So I have added in the file. And before that, I need to see, now this is the command to show whether what directories have been exported from this system. So right now, if I run this command, I don't see export list for localhost is empty. The list is empty. Now, if you run this command, export fs minus var. If I run this command, export fs minus var, and if I then check my show mount minus e, so now you can see the export directories over here, which has been exported from this system. This system localhost. Yes, is it clear?
Yes.
Very good. Okay, so now this is my primary application server S4H dev1. So from here I am running show mount minus the local host. Now coming to my secondary, or to coming to my additional application server, I will be running the same command, but instead of local host, now I will be giving the host name of my primary application server S4H dev1. Can you see? From here, see, this is S4H dev2. From dev2, I'm checking the export list, mount list of my dev1 server. I can see all these 3 mount points. Okay. So on the next server, I can see, yes. Export NFS. Export NFS shares on primary. Enable NFS service on primary application server. This is primary application. So this now we have to do on the additional application server. Yes, we have done this. Now I will have to mount all these 3. I have to mount all these 3 mount points on my local. If I check my df minus h, so I don't see any mount points from my S4H dev1 right now, from my primary application server. Now what I need to do, I will make this entry in my etc fstep file. Okay, so the next time during boot, all these mount points, all the directives will be mounted automatically at boot time. Okay, right. If I check my etc fstep file here, okay, you can see that nothing has been added in my etc fstep file till now. Let me add these entries in my etc fstep file. Now, can you see these 3 entries have been added in my etc fstep file? Okay, now till now df minus h, no directives have been mounted. Now if I run, now before mounting, you need to create the directives there. You need to create the mount points. So here I'm creating the mount points /pkgs directory /sapmnt/usr sap trans. Okay, here I'm creating the mount points, and here I'll mounting the file systems mentioned in my etc fstep file. Okay, can you see over here? Operation not permitted. Okay, operation not permitted. Operation not permitted. Okay, let me check whether it has been mounted or not. No, it has not been mounted yet. Now, why was this not giving as operation not permitted? Okay, client address 10.4.2.5. Let me make some change over here. Now let me go into /etc exports. Okay, now here instead of allowing all star, instead of giving a star, let me change it to S4H dev 2. S4H dev 2. Okay, I am allowing only for S4H dev 2. Okay, now let me check the permission show mount minus e local source. Here still it is showing for star. I need to export it again. Export fs minus var. Okay, exported again. Now let me check show mount minus e. See, now it is only allowing for S4H this system. Now let me again try to mount it over here. Let's see what it shows. Mount minus AV. Again, operation not permitted. Okay. VI etc exports. Ten dot 4.2.5. 10.4.2.5. 10.4.2.5. Okay, let me export it again. Export minus where show mount minus e localhost 10.4.2.5. Okay, now mount minus AV. Operation not trying text base. Operation not permitted. Okay, let me check. Slash where log messages without API force Okay. This is mount D. Show mount minus 4.3. Okay, now can you see the error has changed now? An incorrect mount option was specified. Invalid argument. Now let me go FS tab. Version 4.2. Permission denied. Okay, now we are getting access denied by server while mounting this one. Okay, trying trying this version 3 protocol. So access denied by server while mounting this. Let me now roll back etc exports. Operation not permitted. Let me check why this permitted. Sync SSID. More frequently number references the root of organization defined with it. Legally not the version of granted SSID. Something new. Let me. Show mount minus E equal. Okay. Minus E. Okay, I think we will take a break of 15 minutes. Let me troubleshoot this part and I'll get back to you. Continue after 15 minutes. Okay?
Okay, no problem.
Yes.
Okay, bye.
Okay, so only change that I need I have done over here. I have changed the permissions over here. The earlier permission which I had given, this was the earlier permissions. Okay, the permission which I had given earlier, NFS version 4.1 resize and many of the things. So these all are not required. Okay, after this, I have just changed everything to defaults. That is it. I have just changed everything to defaults, nothing else. So now no change from the server side, NFS server side. The permissions will be same. Okay, I've reverted it back to the star only. No changes from here. Everything will be as which is over here in the Excel sheet. So the permissions for the server side will be same. No changes. Only from the client side. So only from the client side, if you see over here, DFS not mounted, cat/etc fs file. These are the permissions that we had given earlier. So these are not required. So I will now open this fs file and remove these lines. Okay, let me save it. Now I will just copy it from my sheet over here. Okay, so here again, you see these are the new entries for my etc fs file. That's it. We just have to give the default permission. Whatever is the default, it will take it up over here. And now after this, we have already created the directories or mount points. Now just run mount minus AV. Before that, you can run df minus h. You can see that no NFS mount points have been mounted now. Okay, now just click on. So now can you see over here? Successfully mounted, successfully mounted, and successfully mounted. So all the three NFS exports are successfully mounted. Now if you run df minus h, if I run ck, you can see the NFS mounts over here. So these are my NFS mounts. So these directories are, so these are the directories slash pkgs. These directories actually, where does it exist? Is exist on my day one system, primary application server. Same with my SAP MNT S4D. This also exists on my primary application server and also my USR SAP trans. All these three directories exist on my this primary application server, and I have mounted all these directories onto this of my local directories. These are my local mount point. If you go into ls/pkgs, you can see the content of this directory. Okay, this is your local directory, but the content, they are not coming from local, they are coming from your primary application server. SAP MNT S4D ls/usr SAP trans. Okay, is it clear? We are clear till now.
Yes.
Okay, so now let us move forward. Now we'll start with the installation of our additional application server. So for that, we will be starting our software provisioning manager. Just keep it in mind, before you start the installation of the additional application server, remember to start your database and your primary application server. Okay, don't go and directly start installing your additional application server. It needs your database and your primary application server also. So here I'm going inside my directory, the same directory it is created last time, pkgs and the swbm directory, and I'm running SAP INST. Okay, so here it is. Here is my URL. I can open the URL and I can start with my installation. Advanced, go back, accept the risk and continue. It is asking for the username and password. I have to provide the root username and password. Okay, here it is. So this is done. This is done. SAP S4HANA Server 2020, SAP S4HANA Server 2020, SAP HANA Database preparations, prerequisite check. So let me run a prerequisite check. Okay, so here we'll be running an check for additional application server instance, only the last one. Additional application server instance. Next. Okay, additional application server, this next. Okay, package path. So this is the path for my kernel location. This is the path for the kernel location. Okay, so this is available. Next. Okay, so this is a summary. This is a summary, parameter summary. Just click on next and it will do a prerequisite check. I think it should give an error. Okay, can you see it is given condition not met? It's given for a medium severity. Okay, what is it given? For the additional selected services, at least 10.10240 MB swap space are recommended. Okay, if you remember here on a sheet, first information sheet, so SAP recommended 10 GB. SAP recommended 10 GB. So, but we are taking a space which is less than SAP recommended, or better, not SAP recommended, or we can say SWPM recommended. Okay, no problem. SAP recommended. So the recommended is 10 GB, but we are giving a space of 8 GB. But it is saying that it is not a high level severity, it's only a medium level severity. It means we can ignore and we can move forward with it. Okay, so we will just ignore it and we will move forward. Next. The system does not meet some prerequisites or some prerequisites cannot be evaluated. Do you want to repeat the checks before continuing? No. Okay, so here it has run successfully. Okay. Close and exit. So I have executed the prerequisite check. Now I will doing the installation. So for that, again, I have to run the SWPM, refresh. Okay, now again execute the same SAP S4 HANA Server 2020 HANA database installation. HANA database installation. Now, what we are going to do over here, application server Arab app, additional SAP system instances. What is given over here? Additional SAP system instances. Click on additional SAP system instances, additional application server instance. So you have to select this one over here, additional application server instance. Click on next. Okay, first option, custom, next. So custom, next is the profile directory. Where is your profile directory? So it will ask you the path for your profile directory, the profile directory. So here we are going the path for a profile directory, SAP MNT S4D profile. Okay, second is your profile directory, then the password, master password, password for all users. Okay, this is for your message server port. So what it says, provide the connection port of the ABAP message server of the system. See, this sentence is important. If you leave this field empty, the system instances will connect to the default port. Okay, so no need to provide any value over here. Just click on next. Now it is asking you for the master password. So here we have copied the master password. Just paste it over here. Okay, and then it is for your SAP host agent. Okay, so here you can just click on next. Okay, see here it is saying you condition not met medium for the selected services, at least this the value not here. So you can just click on next. Okay, your system does not meet some prerequisite. Do you want to repeat the checks before continuing? No. See, I had enough space in my OS level. If you check on my OS level over here, I had enough space df minus h. So I had created the swap file where ll slash in the slash partition. I've created a swap file of 8 GB in my slash partition. If I check my slash partition, I have available 18 GB of space still available. So I could have easily given it 10 GB. Okay, that would have not been any problem with you. But just to show you that even if it is not meeting the requirements, we can still go ahead with the installation. So here it is. Now it is asking for the SAP host agent. So this is the path for my SAP host agent. Next. So SAP host agent done. Instance number HANA. So it is asking the instance number for my HANA. So my HANA instance number is not 01, it is 03. Okay, my HANA instance number is 03. Okay, package path, this is also now available. Now click on just next. Okay, system this, just click on next. Okay, instance number, see, it is asking the instance number. So instance number is 03. Instance number 03, next. Okay, specify location for your HANA client. So this is my HANA client. So here I'm giving the location for my HANA client. Next. This done. Now additional application server instance number. Okay, what is this? HANA client. Okay, available. Next. HANA secure user store, HDB user store. Next. Okay, so now you can see by default it is taking the instance number as 00. Why? Because this is a fresh system. This is a new VM. So we can start the numbering from 00. Okay, on your primary application server, 00 is for your additional application. Sorry. Okay, this is my primary application server. On my primary application server, okay, on my primary application server, 0000 is the instance number for my ASCS instance, and 01 is the instance number for my primary application server. If I were to install another instance on this system, I cannot use any of this existing instance number 0 or 01. I have to start with 02. But in case of a new VM, I can start with 00 also, no issues, because if it's a new system, you can start with 00 also, as given over here. Okay, but just to make it as for easy to understand, since we already have a system 00 and 01, I'm making this system as 02, just for recognizing purpose. That is it, nothing else. So I'm making it 02. Next. Okay, do not create message access overlays. Next. Yes, clean up operating system user. This is the last screen. Now we click on next. It will start with the installation of your additional application server. It will hardly take 5 to 10 minutes. Not 10 minutes also, 5 to 7 minutes something. Let's see the time, 4 hours, 7 minutes. So we have started it. I selected this, done. Okay, this is your parameter links. Now click on next. Okay, so it is now starting the instance. Let me go and check over here. SU minus S4D ADM. R3 trans minus D connected S4D ADM. It is great, has been stopped. Okay, there is some issue over here. Let me check what the issue. Task list. Okay, so it's a memory related error. Can you see over here? Cannot create segment. So it's a memory related error. So let me do one thing. I will just have to we'll have to restart this VM. Let me stop the service over here.
Assalamu alaikum, Munir bhai. Muzaffar bhai.
Yes, Shabazz.
If you want to take this, you can take on my part. It will is on only, I think. For this one.
Shabazz, please don't disturb me for any unnecessary thing. If I will need it, I will ask from you. Okay.
Okay.
So actually, I don't have a memory issue over here. I like intentionally created a low memory system just to understand what is the basic memory requirement for this. Okay. So here I've got this error. Let me just shut down this VM over here. So it's a very good learning experience for you all. You can understand like how you can troubleshoot your VMs like this. Okay, so now here it is. Okay, now I will close this SAP instance which is running. I will close all the additional application server. Let me stop the instance. SU minus. Okay, so okay, so it is shut down now. Let me shut down this VM. No need for shutting down from here. Let me directly shut it down from here. Additional application server. Stop. Let me update my sheet also. D2S V3. D2S V3 2 processor 8 GB memory. D2S underscore V3. Standard D2S V3, D2S V3 2GB 4GB processor. D2S V3 2 processor 8 GB memory. This is okay. Now sheet is done. Let me change the VM size. D2S V3 2 processor 8 GB memory resize. Okay, so now we can see over here, I have changed the size of this VM standard D2S V3. Now let me start this VM. Okay, it's running now. Let me reconnect. Okay, so it is connected now. Let me just start my installation as WPM again. No need to start from scratch. We'll run from the last. Okay, there's the option I will show you. Okay, it's already open. Just click on refresh. SAP S/4HANA Server 2020 installation, additional SAP system instances, additional this, next. Okay, here start a new run of the chosen option. No, just select the continue with the existing run. Okay, next. And before continuing with the existing run, now let me go inside my VM. Let me log in with the user S4D ADM and let me start and check whether I'm able to start my application or not. So here is the command to start the application. Okay, let me monitor whether the command is getting okay. So it has created all these files. If you see all, you can see all this file has been created. I think it is done now. I think it will start in some time. Starting to active. Okay. Here, can you see my application server has started. Now I can continue with my installation. Yes, can you see the screen now, everyone?
Yes.
Okay, the execution of service has completed. Now installation of my additional application server has completed successfully. So the issue was with the memory. That was because of the less memory. It was not getting, the instance was not getting up. Okay, now I can close and here I can exit now. Now my instance is up now. This is my primary application server. I can close this. This is my primary application server and this is my additional application server. You can also run this command over here, instances list. You can check for the instances list. Okay, so here it is. Now can you see you can see 3 instances from the development 1, from the primary application server, instance number 0 for the ASCS, again on development 1, the one for your primary application server, and now on development 2 you can see the additional application server instance number 2. Okay, both of these instances, your instance number 1 primary application server and your additional application server, both has the same number of services: ABAP, Gateway, ICMN, and IGS. Yes, is it clear? Any doubts, any queries? Yes, anyone?
Yeah, it's clear for me.
Yes, very good.
Hello.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes,
Ye-
now
Yes,
I can.
now. Okay, yes.
I think
But
it's
how did
been
it?
around 5-7 minutes. I was not, so I rejoined the meeting. I thought something is with my
No,
phone.
no, sorry. I think I don't know why this did happened. How come it went into mute? Okay. So now can you hear me? Did you see what I did? So here, see, I now here in my in this system in my S4H day one, in my S4H day one system, I have two instances. This is my this is my ACS instance. This is my primary application server instance. On the secondary S4H Dev 2, I have my additional application server instance. What I did over here is that when I log, now let me start and let me show you again. Okay, so I'm starting my primary application server instance. Okay, and my additional application server is already running. I didn't stop it.
Mm, is it possible? Like, okay, so your ASCS is running. So if
Yes.
primary is down, no problem, right?
Yes, primary actually is nothing, it's just a naming convention.
Yeah, correct.
Okay, and your the only thing, the only difference between a primary application server and your additional application server is that your primary application server instance is on the same host where your ASCS instance is running.
Yeah, got it.
If you see the services, if you see the services over here, can you see the services? And if you compare the same services with your additional application server, both the services are same. There is no difference. Okay, now
Yes.
if my both of my application servers are running, primary application server and my additional application server, but if I stop my ASCS instance, if I stop my ASCS instance, I won't be able to log into my application server. If you want, I will show it over here. Now last time I stopped the instance number 01. This time I'm stopping instance number 00. I am stopping instance number 00. Now I'm monitoring over here.
Hmm.
Okay, why is it shutting down? Okay, can you see dispatcher suspended, not attached to the message server? Now here my ACS instance has gone down. Can you see the ACS instance has gone down? As soon as my ACS instance gone down, my dispatcher has become orphaned. And as soon as it became orphaned, the services on this dispatcher has been suspended. Even if you go on the secondary server, you can see the same message over here. Now, if you open your SAP GUI, if I try to connect to any of my, it's still, this is quite interesting because normally it shouldn't open up.
Maybe while running some T code, you will not be able to.
Maybe let me see. Let me check. Try to log in into no one also. But even if you try to log in into this server, this will create a problem in the future because your NQ server is not running. If your NQ server is not running, you will not get access to exclusive access to your database data sets.
Yes.
Okay, can you see it is not the though it is not able to cross check from the database. It gave me the login screen, but it is still not able to log me in into the system. If you want, you can come over here and you can run this dpmon and check what is happening in the background. Okay, can you see internal NQ? Can you see it has stuck on the NQ? It is not able to connect to NQ server. If it is not able to connect to NQ server, it cannot put a lock on your database, and it will not be able to get exclusive access to that record or the data. After some time, it will get timeout and it will exit. You will not be able to log in into your system without your ASCS instance. Yeah, see, it has stuck in the NQ or it's stuck in the for the NQ only. So here, let me just start the system. By the time you can see still it is still in the hang state. Now let me start the ASCS instance. Now I've started my ASCS instance. Again, I'm opening the screen also where it has stuck with the NQ action. Okay, it is not able to contact the NQ server. So it is now green now. See, can you see? All the thing as the process, all the requests which were in the process, seek, I'm able to log into my server. Okay, here is a call seek one. Okay, let me run seek. What is the issue? Okay, so yes, no errors reported. So earlier it gave seek because it was not able to contact the NQ server, but now everything is okay. Yes, am I clear on this part?
Yes.
So your ASCS instance one, this is a ASCS instance which is important. Now, for example, let me stop my this instance, my primary application server instance. Now I'm stopping my primary application instance, which is 01. 01 is my primary application server instance. Now I'm stopping it.
Muzaffar,
Yes, Guy.
okay, is it possible to install another additional application instance?
Yes, you can install as much as per your requirement. I have seen at least like say around 18 to 20 application servers for one production instance, production server. Okay, I think there was 18 or 20. I don't remember the exact number, but I
Okay.
have seen this many numbers of application servers, additional application servers.
Okay.
Okay, and four or six is quite common. Four number of application servers is quite common, but if you go for bigger organizations, they might have something like say 8, maybe 12, maybe 16, maybe more than that also. So here you can see my additional application server, primary application server has gone down. My ASCS instance is still working. My ASCS instance still running, and if you check my additional application server, this is also running. You can check it from here. Okay, my additional application server is also running. Now if you see over here, for my primary application, the window in which I logged into my primary application server, it has crashed or it has got disconnected. You can see over it has got disconnected. You can click on no. Okay, but if you see my instance server which is connected to my instance number 2, okay, additional application server instance, this application is still active and running. Can you see over here on the right hand side, bottom right hand side, this application server S4H Dev 2, it is still active. If I try to execute any T code from here, SM51, see, I'm still able to execute and run. I'm still able to execute access the system from my S4H Dev 2, my additional application server. Is this part clear with all of you? What is actually an additional application server? Yes, everyone.
Okay, this part is perfect for me. Now I have a question.
Yes.
I want to know if we have the possibility to configure the system in case of the first application server come down. It start automatically. Is it possible?
Okay, so you are mean to say the whole VM, the whole server goes down. Not only the instance, but the whole server goes down. Is that your query, Guy?
Uh, Not whole server, the instance.
Which instance? Instance number which? So out of if you're talking for this one, which instance?
01.
Okay, if this instance goes down, I told you, you won't be able to log into the system. So now you are asking how to make it like highly available. Okay, even if this instance goes down, then how should how can you maintain high availability for your application servers? I mean
Okay.
to say this is the right word that you should use over here. Okay, now what happens? So now see, now if you see over here, I have this one is my, this is one VM over here, which has my two instances, instance number 00 for ASCS, instance number 01 for my primary application server. This is my secondary VM, which has my 02 instance for my additional application server. So here, if you see, these instances, the primary application server and then additional application server, they have a backup. Okay, my primary application server, additional application, they are a backup to each other. If my primary application server goes down, additional application server will take the load. If my additional application server goes down, my primary application server will take the load. Okay, but what happens to this one? What happens if my ACS instance goes down? Then what will happen? Yes, Gi, is that your query?
Yes.
Okay, so for that, coming to that point over here, now that is what something which you have over here is your high availability. Okay, can you see the first one is an example of a standard, first one is an example of a standard installation. In this example, you have only one node. Okay, you have only one node. And this is my node. In the same node, you have installed your application server with the ASCS and primary application server. And in the same node, you have installed your database instance. Okay, one node. What we have done, we have used a distributed option. We have used a distributed option. So what we have two nodes. We have node 1 and we have node 2. Okay, in the node 1 we have installed our this one application server. In the node 2, we have installed a database instance. So on a node 1 our application instance is running, on the node 2 our database instance is running. This is the installation that we have gone through. Today we have installed another application server on top of this setting. Now what you are asking about, talking about, is high availability. What will happen in high availability? See, here it is. You will have to create two nodes, especially only for your ASCS instance. You will create two nodes for your ASCS instance. On one of the node, your ASCS instance will be running. On the second node, your ASCS instance will be down. Okay, that is, it will run in active passive mode. On the node 1, the ASCS instance will be active. On the node 2, the ASCS instance will be passive. Okay, so now in this case, if one of the node goes down, for example, if my node, this node, if my node 1 goes down, if the node 1 goes down, what happens? The service of this node, this service, this ASCS instance service will go down. When this service will go down, what cluster, the cluster what will do, it will bring up the service on the second node. It will bring up the ASCS service on the second node. Do you get my point?
Yes. It's
Okay,
very
so
clear.
previously what will happen? See, both of this before going down. Let me show you before going down. Okay, so now what is happening? My primary application server is running. The primary application server, this instance is running. Okay, my ACS instance on node 1 is running. In this case, what would happen? All my application server will connect to this application server instance, this ACS instance. Okay, both of these application servers, or as many as application server you have, all of them will connect to your ASCS or running ASCS instance. But what happens if this ASCS instance goes down? For example, this one, this ASCS instance goes down, this service, my ACS instance service goes down. So as soon as this ACS instance goes down, the cluster will bring up your service on the secondary node. On the secondary node, it will bring up the ACS instance, and then what will happen? These servers, the servers previously which were connecting to your running ACS instance, now they will connect to the instance which is your running ACS instance. Do you get this?
Yes, Muzaffar.
Okay, so this is your high availability installation. So normally for your critical servers, okay, critical server, in case normally for production servers, you will go with this approach. Even for any other critical servers, maybe if your development server is also critical, you can also go for this option for your development server. Okay, so now if you see, now I can log in. Okay, this service is down. So that is the reason if I now try to log in to my primary application server instance, it will give me an error. Why? Because that application server instance is down. I can only log in to my additional application server, because why? That application server instance is running. Okay, now let me start my instance over here in my primary application. It is starting now. Let me log in there. Let me refresh the screen. See, can you see it is starting? It is showing you that this application server is starting up. It is not active yet. It is starting up. As soon as all the service over here become green, this server will become active. So once this server become active, now both of these servers can host your users. Okay, now you can see this server has also become active. My node 1 has also become active. Is it clear till now? Your till now any doubts or any kind of queries till now?
Okay for me.
Okay, so good. So now it is running. Now you see I can log into my both of my instance. Here I'm logging to my primary application server instance. I'm logging to my with my user primary application server instance. I've logged in. Here I can see the screen. Also I can log into my additional application server. Okay, I can log into my additional, continue with this login without ending. Okay, I'm logged into my both of my application server 1 and 2. Now if you come over here, if on any of your system, if you run SM04, if you run SM04, here you can see all the users which are logged into the system. Can you see the users which are logged into the system? So here you can see that SAP admin user is logged in. Also on the second screen, if you run SM04, here also you can see the SAP admin user has logged in. But if you see over here, this user, if you see the message over here, if you see the message on the top of the screen, see user sessions for AS instance S4 as day 1, instance number 01. So this screen is only for instance number 01. If you go on the second screen over here on the second logon, see this instance screen is only for the instance number 02. This is for instance number 01. This is for instance number 02. If I again open another screen, maybe for my primary application, so if I again open another login screen and I again log into my screen over here, system over here, doing this is this. Okay, some issues. What is it? Oh, here everything is working fine. So it is not allowing me to log in multiple times. Maybe with some other user, I might be able to log in. So let me create a user over here in my, let me create it over here /o su01. Let me create a user called as test01. Okay, so this is my user. I'll create the user. Last name also test01, logon data dialog. I'll give the password over here. Welcome 123. Welcome 123. Roles and profiles. I'm giving the profile over here as SAP all. Okay, I'm saving this user. Okay, now let me log in with this user. Let me log in from my primary application server. Test01. Okay, it's asking me to change my password. Password 123. Okay, so here I'm logged in with my user. Now, if I come and if you see over on the screen over here, if I click on refresh, see, I can see my test user also. I can see my test01 user also on this screen. For which of my instance number 01, primary application server. If I go on my secondary additional application server, if I click on refresh, see, I cannot see the user test01 over here. I can see the test01 user over here, but I cannot see it over here because this is application server specific. Logons are application server specific. If I want to see for all the user, I have to give something AL08. I have to give the T code AL08. Now, when you give the AL08 T code, it will show you for all the application servers. If you see there, you can see an additional column over here. This column is not there in your other screen. This is an additional column. It is showing you which server, which application server it is logged into. Can you see over here which application server? So you can see all the application servers are 01. What happened to my 02? 02, let me go into SM59. Okay, SM59. Let me click on refresh over here. System wide list of users. Why is it not showing for my AC01 / n SM51? Okay. I think it is because we have not, okay, maybe I think. SM51 test, this is for 01, test01, SM51. Kind of filter, any kind of filter is there, application server instance. User info, switch to server. I can switch to the other server from 01. I think I'll have to check with this. Why is it not showing over here? Okay, so this is a screen SM04 where you can see both all the application servers. So here you can see for 01 also, and here the 02 also should be displayed over here, but somehow it is not showing over here. I will need to check it over this. Okay, so this point, is it clear how to see your users, system wide users? This is for your specific for your instance. This is specific to your instance, and AL08 is system wide users over here. Okay. Same goes for your SM50. If I show you SM50, see, these are the work process for my primary application server. Where can I see this? See over here. You can see over here. This is for my S4 day one, my primary application server instance number 01. Okay, but if I run this T code over here, SM66 / n SM66, this T code in, see here you can see the system wide work processes over here. System wide work process, but again it is showing only for 01 only, not for 02. Okay, let me check with this and get back to you. Okay, now let's come back to the main point over here, which is your logon group. Okay, what is a logon group? So understand first what is a logon group over here. Now what you have seen over here, we have created multiple application server instance. Any doubts till now about this application server instance and login into the application server instance? Yes, everyone.
No question for me.
Okay, so now what is it? Now what is an logon group? Now what happens? I show you that I have multiple, I have installed multiple application servers over here, and I can log in individually to all the application servers. I can log into this PS also. I can log into the ASS also. But now what happens? For example, if you have like say 500 users in your company, all the users they connect to your SAP GUI to connect to your application server. Now what will you do? Which connection will you create on those users PC? Okay, for example, now if you create this connection PAS, if you connect the PAS connection on the all the users PC, all the users will connect to the application one only. All the users will connect to the additional primary application server instance only. Nobody will connect to the additional application server. If nobody connects to the additional application server, then what will happen? The primary application server will be loaded. Only the primary application server will be loaded. Nobody will be logging onto the other application servers. Okay, so how can you maintain, how can you like make sure that if the people who are logging, the load is distributed equally on all the application servers? For example, if 10 people are already logged into the primary application server and someone else logs in, he should be logged into the secondary application, the additional application server, not on the primary application server. For this same reason, this is a reason that we need to create a logon group. You have to create a logon group in your system. Okay, create a logon group. The T code for that is SMLG. Now login into your system. I'm logging into any of the application server. I'm logging into my additional application server. I'm logging into my additional. I'm running the T code SMLG. This is the T code for creating. So here you can see all your additional here you can see all your application servers. Right now we have only 2 application servers, so that is the reason I can see only 2 application servers over here. If you have multiple application servers, you will see all the application servers over here. The green button over here marks it that this application server is active. And on the left hand side, the first column shows you the logon group in which this server has been added. You can create multiple logon group based on your requirement. So right now we'll be creating only one logon group. How can we create an assignment? I'm creating a logon group by the name as Solutrix. So you can click over here, create assignment, click over here. I think just double click on it and you can click on the logon group, create assignment F8, group list, edit F8, create assignment F8. So here is it, edit F8. You can create it over here. I think here also you might. Okay, here it is. Okay, create assignment F8. Click on create assignment F8. So here is your logon group. What logon group you want to make it by? I will make it by Solutrix. So mostly it is created by your company name or maybe your branch name. For example, you have a big company, for example, say Mercedes or Mercedes-Benz or say General Motors. Okay, for example, they have multiple regions, multiple locations. Okay, for example, they have a location in India, then in one in Japan, then one in say Europe, one in some other location. So you can create the logon group maybe based on the name of the locations, the name of the city in which they are located, anything relevant that you want to make it. So here I'm giving the is a solitary, and here you will choose the instance. So first you will choose the instance number 1 and click on copy. So if you see over here, my instance number 1 has been added to my logon group as Solutrix. Now you can double click on your secondary instance, and here you can select your same logon group and click on copy. So now you can see both of your application servers have been added in the logon group Solutrix. Both of my application servers have been added into one my logon group, that is Solutrix. After this, just click on save. Okay, my configuration has been saved. I've created one logon group. I have created one logon group and assigned both the instances to that logon group. Now next part, what will be? Next part for you will be to create your services, create a connection over here. You need to create a connection over here. Now you'll go into create new connection. Here click on next. Here instead of custom application server, I'll be selecting group server selection. Select group server selection. Here I will select SAP what name I need to be over here? SAP S/4HANA SAP S/4HANA 2020. Okay. So I will just give SAP S/420 system ID. What is my system ID? I'm giving as S4D. This is my system ID. Message server. Which message server I want to connect it to? So I'll be connecting it to, where is my message server? It is on the primary S4HDEV. It is here dot SOLUTRIX.IN. This is my, and plus my IP address of will be, I think it will be 3600 3600. Okay, just click on two times, tab, just complete two times tab. You can see, it has found the server group Solutrix and the instance number 01. Just click on finish. So here you can see I've created a logon group over here. I've created a logon group over here by the name of Solutrix. And if you see, if you scroll below, you can see that the message server, this is my message server, s4h-dev1.solutrix.in. Now, if I click on this connection, it will automatically put me on any available application server. If you see the application server over here, it is opening s4h-dev1. It is opening the primary application server over here. Automatically, I am not selected any application server. So my message server is routing my connection to any of the available application server. Is it clear? Now, if I log in into Rebek during SAP GL login. Okay, I think I've logged in into once. Maybe I think the reason it is not allowing me. Okay, now I've logged into my server. Now, for example, if I run AL08, I'm seeing 01 over here. Now let me log in into my 0. Okay, again it is opening for the S4H-dev1 only. Again it is opening. Let me log in into S4H additional application server. Continue with this login without ending. Now if I click refresh over here, okay, here can you see, here it is working. I can see the application server 02. Can you see over here? And it is also showing me the application server 01 also. And I thought there is some bug in the system now. So here it is not showing 02. In this server it is not showing 02, but in 02 it is showing me both of them. This is my application server 02 and this is my application server 01. I can see all the users which have been logged in over here. Let me check for /OSM66 also. Okay, can you see now? I can see for 02 also, and I can see for 01 also. Active work process only. So it will only show me the processes which are active. So only 2 are active now. Yes, so is it clear till now?
Yes.
Okay, similarly, you can also create a logo group for your background work process also. Now what happens over here? This one I've created a group. Now this group is only for your dialog users, the dialog user who want to connect to your system. So they can come over here, they can double click on your logon group and they can the message server will direct them to that application server which has lesser load. Okay, this is for your dialog user. What happens to your background jobs? How the background jobs will be distributed among different number of application servers. Now here, if you see over here, now my sorry, just a moment, SM50. Okay, so this is my this. If you can see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 background jobs on my secondary additional application server, and also I have around 5 SM50. I have 5 background work process on my primary application server. So this is also my 50. Okay, so here I have like 5 background work process for my primary application server and 6 background work process for my additional application server. Now, how the background job should be distributed over here? Okay, because if you create any job, when you create any job, it will ask you on which server you want to run it. For example, SM35. Here, from here you can not SM35, SM36. From SM36, you can create a background job. You can create a background job over here. If you see over here in the target here, you can mention which background server you want to run that job on. You have to select the background server. Okay, now for example, if you want to go for load balancing, then what you need to do, you need to create a background job server group. So that is this SM61. You have to go into SM61. See, I can see both my servers over here. This is my dev 1, this is my dev 2. So here can you see job server groups? Click on the job server groups. Here are the job server groups. Here you need to create on create. Click on create. Click on create, and the job group name will be SAP default BTC. This is the group name. SAP default BTC. I am creating a group over here, SAP default BTC. So now you can see this is a group over here. Under this group, I can assign. See, I can click an assignment. I will add my instance or add my instance over here. So I will add the instance number 01, continue. So under this group, I have instance number 1. Again, I will click on assignment, click on the job group, click on assignment, and now I will assign the second instance also. Okay, here I'm assigning my second instance also, continue. So can you see over if under this job group, I have both my instances defined over here. So if I target, if I target any background job into this job group, then this job group will divide the load on the it will divide the load equally on the number of job servers which are listed or assigned to this job group. I hope is it clear? Yes. Okay, so this is your job group. Now, in case if I go into SM36, let me again go into SM36. From here, if I create any group, if I create any job, if you click on the target over here now, so can you see? I think it is still not visible. Let me log out from here again. Assignment, job overview, no entry selected. Okay, let me come out of it over here, everything. And let me log in again. Okay, now let me go into SM36. If I choose the target over here, no, still it is not showing as a background job. Here it should show my the background job group, or maybe here if it is not giving over here. Attributes, alternate IP address, RFC response type test. Matrix space 7. Okay. No, so it is not defined over here, but in case if you create any job group from any other location, you can select the target group. You can select the job group, and once you select the job group, all the application servers which are there under that job group, so the background jobs will be loaded on all the job groups over there. Okay, is that clear? And you can also go for RZ12, which is your RFC server group. Can you see over here? So here you have RFC logon group by the name as 390, and only the one application server is added to it. only the instance primary application server is added to it. You can just simply double click over here, and you can also add your secondary also to here. 390 and click on copy. So here, see, I have now created, I've created an assignment of for this logon group 390 for both of these servers, primary application server as well as additional application server. And now just click on save. Yes, is it clear?
Yes.
Yes, any doubts, any queries? Okay, so no doubts and queries. So okay, yes, we can end it now. If you have any doubt and queries, you can ask me. You can ask in the group, or you can ask in the next class. Is it okay with everyone?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so goodbye. See you.
Yeah. Bye bye.
Bye, Mr. Bye, everyone.
Goodbye.